Jesse Britt present. This is the City of Lansing versus Jesse Britt 24-03663. Council appearance.
Captain Nichols, I interfere for the city and if I may approach with the issue, Your Honor.
Yes.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Britt.
Thank you. Mr. Britt was here for a trespass final pre-trial. And there were witnesses here.
None from the city.
What was the address of the trespass?
Or Your Honor.
It says a Burnway in Waverly. That's not a business, is it?
That's correct, Your Honor. I believe that was a record.
Witness.
Our office subpoenaed and that address was returned as not.
Council, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, in light of the fact that apparently there were no witnesses for the prosecution, request would be dismissed without prejudice.
This is dismissed without prejudice. It's on citation, so I don't need a knowledge, and I don't believe they can reissue a citation. It's that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, sir. City of Lansing versus Clayton Dawson, 25-00193 and 25L2906-832. No, no, yeah, it doesn't. We don't need that.
Captain Nichols, I interfere for the city, Your Honor.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Dawson.
Okay, Mr. Dawson has a no proof of insurance. And then there is a driving unlicensed. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Dawson is working on getting his license. I have given him information on the restoration for him that is being held today. Hopefully he can make it out to that. So this time we would request adjournment for progress on that.
Mr. Dawson, what time you have to be at work?
I was supposed to be at 8 today,
Oh, you're there all day?
8 to 4.
Oh, okay, because the restoration clinic is going on around the corner and that could have been beneficial for you. Nonetheless, we'll reset this matter so that you can work on getting your license situated, okay?
Okay.
How much time are you looking for, counsel?
At least 3 weeks, just give him as much time to get the paperwork together.
April 8th at 9:30.
April 8th at 9:30. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
I know you're on.
We'll get you a notice in just a moment, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. City of Lansing versus Janine Purnell, 24-03159 and 24L285835. Appearance, please.
Captain Nichols, I interfere for the city, Your Honor.
Renner Jeffrey Kaplan, P74943, on behalf of the defendant who's appearing to my right, or who's appearing by Zoom, sorry.
Okay, this is a driving while license is suspended and careless driving. And we reset this to allow her an opportunity to work on retrieving license. What's the update on that?
Runner, I'm covering for Lauren Sutton. It's my understanding that she's in agreement with the prosecutor to request another adjournment so that my client can complete the process. She is getting close. She's almost done with her appeal to the Secretary of State so that she can get her license back.
She's appealing the Secretary of State, you said?
Correct.
And what step is she in that appeal process?
Your Honor, I do not know, Ms. Purnell. What stage are you at?
So I did my evaluation. I did my 2 panel drug tests. Now today I got to pick up my last 3 letters and then mail everything off to get my date.
Okay, so she's got to mail off and then get a date. Give me 45 days.
April 22nd at 9:30.
April 22nd at 9:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem.
And can that be by Zoom?
That's correct. Do you have any questions for the court today, Ms. Purnell?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Not from the attorney.
You're all set, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. City of Lansing versus Paul Curtis Young, 24-03526 and 27.
Catherine Nichols-Stein for the city, Your Honor.
Runner Jeffrey Kaplan, P 74943, on behalf of the defendant, the attorney is not here.
I'm assuming Ms. Sutter or herself has not had contact.
She has reached out to him. She's not heard back. Correct.
I was sure, make sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
City of Lansing versus Elizabeth Siegel, TU 24037412.
Catherine Nichols-Stein for the city, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
It's scheduled for formal hearing. This is for handicap violation. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, we are prepared to go to a formal hearing. It's my understanding that Mr. Falk has argument.
Okay. Let me see. What matters, Mr. Chomby here on? Okay. How that happened?
He had to play.
Okay, 25-00. Let me call this case first. 00316, City of Lansing versus Borta Ignacio.
Cap-
Council appearance.
Catherine Nichols-Stein for the city, and if I may approach the Honor.
Wait, Mr. Chomby is here, not as the interpreter, but as the attorney, correct? Yeah. Council appearance?
Ebenezer Howard Chambi on behalf of defendant who is sitting next to me to my right here on Zoom. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. This date was scheduled for a pre-trial, and this is for driving while license is suspended. I have an offer. If the people are willing to reduce it to failure to display, is your client going to accept that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it scheduled for one?
Show causes.
Okay. Mr. Orta, is that accurate? You want to plead guilty to the amended charge of failure to display a license? I don't hear a response.
Louder.
Says
He
your
said-
bandwidth is low and I need to hear him say it.
Okay, yes,
Raise your right hand.
He said something.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
yes,
You can put your hand down. In order to accept the plea offer, you need to understand your rights and then be willing to give those rights up. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, so you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the city prove your guilt by proceeding to trial and requiring them to prove each element of the charge of driving while license is suspended beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses that they intend to call or testify against you. You have the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf, and you have the right to waive your silence and testify at your own trial if you like. You understand each of those rights that you would need to give up today?
yep,
That's a yes?
yes,
Okay, you're willing to give those rights up, correct?
oh, yes,
Is anyone threatening you to do that?
Just an amendment.
Is anyone threatening you to give up those rights?
¿Qué tengo que contestar?
I know.
Ay, no.
I don't have an interpreter.
Your Honor, if I may, it's my understanding that the attorney for Mr. Orta does speak Spanish, and so there may be some delay in the client's ability to ask questions. Sounds like
Okay.
they were doing that.
No, Mr. Chompy actually serves as his interpreter, but I don't have an interpreter on here. Are you an interpreter or the attorney on this, Mr. Chompy?
I can translate.
Sir.
Your Honor, I'm the attorney.
Okay, your client requires interpretation?
He understands. It's just, I think, a little, the speed, of the talking, it just seems to me he was confused in the sense of how many times he had to say yes. And he tried to say no, but he didn't know if it was the time to say no when you asked.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so Mr. Orta, is anyone threatening you to give up your rights and plead guilty to the amended charge?
I got the,
No.
Any promises being extended to you if you plead guilty?
No.
As to the amended charge of allowing, or failure to display a valid license, that is, how do you plead?
I used to, it's asking you, to now say how you plead. Mhm.
Yes.
No, but you gotta say either guilty or not guilty. You said you wanted to say guilty, right?
Yeah.
So you have to say.
Okay, I'm gonna reset it. You all can appear in person.
He pleads guilty, Your Honor.
Guilty.
Well, yeah, that's not how this works.
I understand.
So it's gotta be reset. You have a terrible signal. It's going in and out on your end. It's alerting us that you have low bandwidth. And so that's a problem. The other thing is he can't understand what I'm saying. And if there is a delay and he already has maybe a language barrier, he needs to be in person to take a plea.
I understand, Your Honor.
I'll reset this. I recognize you're traveling. When will you be back?
I come back on Sunday.
Okay.
It'll be April 8th at 9.
April 8th at 9 work?
No. What?
Yes, April 8th at 9 works, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you then. Any
Okay,
additional matters for the?
Nothing from the city.
Thank you. Okay, back on the record in the matter for Ms. Siegel. You can call your witness.
The court, please, we don't contest that my client was parked where there was a sign that said it was handicap parking. The problem is it's private property. Our position simply is that under the statute, MCL 257.951 subparagraph 2, you have to have.
It sounds like argument.
Okay, but
let them, you don't have to do anything. She's got to prove it.
Can I take this one?
Raise your right hand. Right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Thank you. You can have a seat.
Ma'am, can you
Well, I need you to state your first and last name.
Antonisha Johnson,
Spell them both.
ANTANEISHAJONHNSON.
Have you testified in court before? Okay, if there's any objections, you'll pause so that the court can make a ruling on those objections and tell you if you can give it your response or not. Also, if you can keep your voice up, I have a fan going, and this right here kind of blocks the sound a little bit, okay? You can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Johnson, how are you currently employed?
In the City of Lansing Parking Department.
And do you recall working on December 30th, 2024? And do you recall where you were about 3 p.m. that day?
I was on my way to McLaren Hospital, going up Forest Road.
Okay, and can you tell us what happened that day as it relates to this case?
As I was driving towards McLaren, I spotted the vehicle, on my right in the handicap without a placard, so I turned around and I issued a citation.
And can you tell us about that vehicle that you saw?
It was a blue, I think it was Toyota. And it was just in the back of the parking lot.
Okay,
It was in what parking lot?
Yes, which behind the church,
Behind the church, you said on where?
on Forest Road.
Okay. Thank you.
and can you tell us about the spot that it was parked in?
It was a signed handicap space. I do have pictures of the car in space.
And did you search the vehicle for signage on the vehicle for handicap placement?
I looked on the rearview mirror or the dashboard. There was nothing displayed.
Okay, so they didn't have a windshield placard,
Not at all.
a special registration plate?
No.
Was there any similar placard or plate from another state?
No.
A registration plate with a tap?
No. I have the pictures.
Okay. And what happened as a result of not having that information?
I took the pictures and I placed the citation on the windshield.
I believe, Your Honor, I've provided counsel with the photos of the incident.
Agreed.
Do you have any objection, I'm sorry, how would you stipulate to those photos?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No objection.
Got the digital copy here. I apologize. Or works than you want it to.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to bring up the photo so I can.
I have physical.
Oh, that would
That's
be
what the
great.
paper.
If she may, Your Honor. Thank you.
You having these marked? You intend to have these marked as exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor. It could probably just be all as one if that's okay with
That's fine.
counsel. Okay.
However you want to do it. Somewhere in there, I think you also have the registration goes with like.
Okay.
75, you know.
With this then, what is
If
that?
you want, see my guess.
Fine. Is this what you're looking for?
No, that somewhere in the papers, there was something that said the car belonged to my client. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. All right, may I first witness on this? Okay. These pictures look familiar to you?
Yes.
And are they a fair and accurate representation of what you saw on that date and time?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe to the court what they are?
Okay, this is a picture of the back of the vehicle showing the license plate with no sticker. Also, the car in front of the handicap sign. This is a side view showing the full ADA sign and the car in the space. This is a full view of the front windshield with no placard displayed. And this is just another side view of the vehicle in the space and the sign in front of the car. This is a screenshot from the front office. They did do an appeal, which was denied. And it's just showing her ownership of the vehicle. This is a more detailed explanation of her appeal. And this is just a picture.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I would offer this into evidence, please. And it would just be marked as, I think that's exhibit 1, if that is the court.
You can go.
Is there a sticker? Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
There you go, I publish it when you're done.
Yeah. Request for publication.
You can
Is there
continue.
anything further you believe this court should know?
Any cross examination?
Thank you, Ron. Morning, Ms. Johnson.
Good morning.
Can you tell me, this was on private, the car was on private property at the time you issued the citation, is that correct?
There is no barrier or gate to pass as long as the public.
That
can
wasn't my
access
question.
the
Please
parking
answer
lot.
my question. You can answer a different question some other time.
As far as I know, church, which is,
So it's private property, right? It's not on the street.
no, it's not on street.
Thank you. And are you aware of any request from the owners of that property to enforce parking on their property?
No.
Thank you. All right.
Redirect.
Can you describe how a car would become parked in the spot that was parked in at this time?
She just drove into the left.
Is there any barriers or any key card access or anything of that nature?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Next witness, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. You can call your next witness.
That would conclude the testimony from the city, Your Honor.
Any defense witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
You can proceed to your argument.
Thank you. Your Honor, the city has clearly established that the defendant was parked in a parking space that was clearly identified and marked as a handicap parking. I understand that the defendant takes no, or they acknowledge that they were in a handicap spot as well. I would note that MCL 257.674 requires specific identifying information in order to be lawfully parked in a handicap parking space as defendant was. Here, as Your Honor can see in Exhibit 1, the sign clearly identifies the parking space as being one for people with disabilities. It is in a location that is open to the public with a standard sign displayed, and that spot is identified for disabled persons. Opposing parties' argument about the location not being a public road doesn't apply here because this particular citation does not originate from the Uniform Traffic Code, but rather the Motor Vehicle Code. The city has adopted both the Motor Vehicle Code and the Uniform Traffic Code, but the origin of the citation is from the Motor Vehicle Code, and council admits that as well in their pleading. So, Your Honor, it's the city's position that this is a lawful ticket as the defendant was unlawfully parked in a space reserved for handicap persons that did not display the proper identification to park there. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did Your Honor get a copy of our written answer? It was filed. That's very disappointing.
Well, typically with these, they give me the file the day of.
Okay.
So I see there's something attached, you know.
Oh, okay. So it is in there. Yeah, so we're relying on MCL 257.951 subparagraph 2. I'll read it in part. A city with the consent of or at the request of a person who is in charge of a parking lot, whether or not that parking lot is open to the general public, may contract with that person for the city, township, or village to enforce provisions of the Uniform Traffic Code or ordinance adopted under this section in that parking lot. And, you know, we heard from our one witness that no such request was ever made. No contract exists. It's quite simple. You know, you can't enforce parking regulations on private property without a contract. That's what the statute says. And the city can't adopt anything contrary to the statute. They're only allowed to adopt something conformable to the statute, and the city hasn't done that. So quite simply, they're trying to enforce a parking regulation which would apply to public property or the street on private property for which they have no request or contract.
This is private property. I don't understand the problem.
Well, Your Honor, this is also a handicap parking space, and those are the rules as allowing people to park in handicap is only with the.
I don't think that's the issue. The issue is the ability to enforce without a contract. That's clearly what his argument was. Did you get his answer?
I did, Your Honor, and in my review, I found that the specific citations that he's citing is for the Uniform Traffic Code, and the citation comes from the Motor Vehicle Code.
I recognize that, but I want to know, where does the motor vehicle code give the city an ability to go on private property to now enforce traffic? Because if that's the case, they could just start going on all the private properties enforcing, which they don't do.
Your Honor, again, I think the distinction there is that it's for a handicap parking space.
There's handicap parking on all private property, isn't there? Or there could be, if it's a business or a church or a school or whatever, it's likely to have some handicap parking spaces. But the city is not policing those.
If that's the court ruling, then that's.
No, I'm asking a question about where in the motor vehicle code is the city relying on information that's to the contrary, that the city has the right to go and police the parking on private property.
Again, Your Honor, it's my position that that would be from the Motor Vehicle Code. As I said,
Where on the, where?
0.674. 257.674.
And it reads specifically what?
Says vehicle must not be parked except if necessary to avoid conflicts with other traffic or in compliance with the law or directions of a police officer or traffic control device in any of the following places. And then subparens S is in a parking space clearly identified by an official sign as being reserved for use by disabled persons that is on public or private property available for public use, unless the individual is a disabled person as described in section 19A, or unless the individual is parking the vehicle for the benefit of a disabled person. In order for the vehicle to be parked in the parking space, the vehicle must display one of the following, and then it lists the 4 identifying factors that Ms. Johnson testified to.
I recognize, I'm not disputing, I don't think anyone's disputing that this motor vehicle code doesn't allow you to park in a handicap spot. We're trying to figure out, where does this motor vehicle code, Michigan Vehicle Code, allow the city to go on private property to enforce that?
That indicates that it can be public or private property available for public use.
But that property is, that it's a church, is not available for public use.
Your Honor, Ms. Johnson testified that any person would be able to go in and park in a lot. There's no barriers indicating that it's private property.
Just because there's no barriers doesn't make it public property.
Okay. I believe that a church is for public, Your Honor, but
It's not publicly owned property. Is what makes it public property. Not that the public can't access it. It's not publicly owned property. I don't think that the city is meeting their burden. The ticket's dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Leave these people on Zoom ready to go.
Yes.
That file. Off this afternoon. It's an arraignment though. Oh, there's a hearing and an arraignment. City of Lansing versus Angelica Leha, 24-02775, appearance, please.
because of inclined to go to the city, Your Honor.
You can give it back to.
Jeffrey Kaplan, P 74943, on behalf of the defendant. She's appearing by Zoom.
Okay, today was the date set for a sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report. It was prepared on the 10th of March. Did you get a copy?
I have, Your Honor, and I have no corrections, edits, or deletions.
Your Honor, I am again covering for Lauren Sutton. We have received the pre-sentence investigation report. We have no changes.
You can make allocution.
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm just going to keep it brief on reviewing the report. It indicates that she's moderate to low risk, recommending 8 months of probation. We just ask to follow the recommendation, Your Honor.
She's required to make the statement.
Ms. Leisure, you got to take yourself off mute. Do you wish to make a statement? You got to take yourself off mute, Ms. Leisure.
Sorry, I was forced to leave mute. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Did you want to make a statement to the court at this time before I sentence you?
Yes. Actually, was trying to see if I could have it dismissed. I mean, because it's been over a year. I haven't had any trouble or gotten into any trouble. Actually, it was just one mistake I went through and a bad timing at that moment. I just been out of trouble. I mean, I work very hard. I got 4 children I take care of. So it was just a bad time at that moment. But I've been doing really good, been out of trouble and just working really hard and proving to be, I mean, doing right actually.
Good. Well, you should be doing right. Your mom, this was 2024, was this incident a year ago?
Correct.
I don't know what you're asking to be dismissed. Nothing, you're not here for a dismissal of a matter. You pled to an amended charge of operating while intoxicated. That means it started off higher than a regular operating while intoxicated. It was charged as a super drunk. Get a 0.29 blood alcohol. Do you know what the legal alcohol limit is?
No, I don't, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Anything above a 0.08 is above the legal limit. You know how many times you were above the legal limit?
I did read it on a paper note. Yes, I do.
And my understanding of the facts as well as the pre-sentence report is you don't even really remember much of the incident because you were so drunk. But you got behind the wheel of a car under those times. And you believe that because you have stayed out of trouble in the last year and have taken care of your children and your other responsibilities, that you have somehow should be rewarded for that by getting a dismissal?
No, not being rewarded. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, with being on probation, if there's a less timing, I mean, I could be on, or less than 8. I know they were saying like 6 to 8 months. So I was saying, I don't know.
The request is for you to do 8 months of probation and to participate in some programming to address your alcohol use, and outpatient, if necessary, would be sufficient due to the high blood alcohol level. One thing I didn't hear neither you or your attorney says is that since this time you've refrained from alcohol. I've not heard that. And so alcohol may still be a real issue for you, or your ability to engage in the consumption of alcohol and make good decisions after that may still be an issue. So I think a term of probation is appropriate.
Okay.
And I will adopt the recommendation of probation. You will be sentenced to a term of 8 months probation. While on probation, you have the following conditions. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not to be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. You are going to be required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and urinalysis testing, and you have to pay the fee for that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. Let's see here. I'm gonna order that you participate in alcohol education. And that you will do outpatient abuse as recommended by probation. You'll maintain employment and provide evidence of that to our probation department. You're not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. There's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for while on probation. There is a $50 state minimum cost plus a $75 crime victim rights fee that will also be assessed. And you owe the Lansing Police Department $384.95 for OWI cost recovery that you must pay. So your total fines and costs is $749.95. You'll make no less than minimum monthly payments on that. And then lastly, there's an advice of rights as to probation that will give you the opportunity to request to be discharged early after you've completed half the original time ordered by the court, so long as you've not had any violations within the 90 days prior to that request. You will use the court's MC 512 form, which is on the court website, and you can get it from your probation officer. You will serve a copy of that form to the city attorney's office and to probation. The city attorney would have 14 days from receipt of that written request to file any objections to your early discharge. So you must have not had any violations, and if I ordered you or you were ordered to do any programming, you would have to have completed all of that programming before making such a request for early discharge after 4 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If I set it for a hearing to address your request, which I have never done, but it could happen, you would have the right to hire an attorney to represent you for such a hearing. You would not have the right to court-appointed counsel for any hearing for early discharge. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, Your Honor.
You need to check in with our probation department and make sure that all your information is accurate. We have a number ending in 6674 for you.
Correct.
That's okay.
Yep.
They'll prepare a judgment of sentence for you to review and sign, and you will be reporting monthly via Zoom for your probation. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further from the city, thank you.
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Police in charge.
Dylan Vanelstein here? Oh, okay. City of Lansing versus Dylan James Vanelstein, 24-029-02251, 52 and 53 appearance.
Catherine Nichols, I'm the for the city runner.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Van Alstyne.
We have the basic speeding, failure to display valid ops, and no proof of insurance. How are we proceeding today?
We're going to be requesting just a brief adjournment. My understanding is that Mr. Van Alstyne does now have license and insurance. He just needs to provide that proof so that we can square it with the city. So I think a couple of weeks would be plenty of time to get that done.
He said he has license and insurance.
I believe so.
So the next available date, March 25th at 8:30. March 25th at 8:30. Do you have any questions today, Mr. Van Alstyne?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
You're all set. You're all set, Mr. Van Alstyne.
All right, I appreciate it.
City of Lansing versus Ramaya Bagwell. Ramaya Bagwell here. This is 24L2832281 Bagwell. This is a show cost because you owe $162. I'm sorry, I can't. Pardon. You owe $162 for a year now?
Yes.
Why have you not made payments? When are you gonna pay?
I can pay today.
We'll get you over to the criminal traffic window. You can pay today and you'll be all set.
It looks like I have a few more on there. She has some more. She has some more. I believe they're two of the same, like the no proof of insurance and the.
There's only one on my dock. She's a warrant.
I'm just
Where-
saying she has two warrants, two iron warrants, so there's two tickets.
Okay, have a seat. We gotta pull your other two. You got some in warrant status. Jamie Costanello. 4-03341 and 24L2894831. Mr. Castanello,
This was just here, or like that.
you're fine. Mr. Castanello, you have, you owe 150 on one and you owe 135. You've not paid your fines.
Your Honor, I totally apologize for that, but I was working with an independent contractor and he didn't want to pay me, so I went to go back to my other job. So now I'm working and now I can pay, like right now, I paid $50 because I remember you said. Today I'll pay $100 and then in like 2 weeks, I'll pay another 100. And then the other 2 weeks, I'll finish paying it all. Cause I get paid every 2 weeks, but it takes a month. It took a month for them to pay, start, you start paying, you start working.
Okay,
You know what
sounds
I
good.
mean?
Have a seat there and my officer will get you to the criminal traffic window when she gets back so you can make a payment, okay?
Okay.
Amanda Greason, present. Can you get Mr. Castanello to the criminal traffic window, please? You just give me the whole packet. Okay. Ms. Bagwell, you have no proof of insurance. You owe $270 on. I issued a bench warrant on that back in August. And then let's see, expired plate that you failed to appear for after you failed to pay. I issued a bench warrant on that one as well back in August. So you've been outside with a warrant and at any time could have been picked up and put in jail.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. I don't think you want to sit in jail over owing some money when you could just make a payment.
I was wondering if I could get, because I know they're two of the same, I was wondering if I could get them combined and just pay it all off to me, to get it all together.
Get what combined then?
To my knowledge, it was two, expired plates and two no proof of insurances. I was wondering if I could.
I have an expired plate, no proof of insurance, and then what you came for today was another expired plate. You owe 162 on one, 192 on another, 270 on the other. What are you asking?
I was wondering if the no proof of insurances could be combined and I can just pay that expired plate and no proof of insurance together.
When you say combined, I don't know what that means.
Just, I guess take one off.
But you mean you want me to dismiss the fine on one, is what you're asking for?
If possible.
In order for that to have happened, you would have needed to negotiate that and probably appear in court. This is already, I think, defaulted.
Oh.
And you're beyond the date for me to even set aside a default. However, I can waive the penalty on this one, which was $30. Put the ROA on the file number ending 81. Thank you. Okay, this is the other. Print the ROA on 7-1 and 7-2 as well. It actually owed 162 on file number ending 21. He had applied a late fee. Penalty on there. I'm gonna pay 135 on that one. I'll waive the balance. $270. The penalty on this one is 45. Pay 150 on that. It was 270. This one was 162. You'll pay 135 on that one. And do I have the right file? Yes. Okay, let's see. This one's 192. You'll pay 130 on this one today. Okay, probably saves you $200. You can pay the balance today, correct?
Yes, will it, all those be reflected at the window?
She's gonna take you with all 3 of those up there.
Okay, because I'll pay it all of it today. I plan
Yeah.
on it.
They have to have my note in order to waive it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Witherspoon, which, Mitchell here? No?
Yes,
Oh,
Your Honor.
Withers-
Good morning, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Okay, Jamal Witherspoon is his full name, got it. Jamal Mitchell Witherspoon, 24L2838391. Mr. Mitchell, you owe 156 on a disobeyed traffic signal. I think you never paid since last year.
That
And
is-
then, I think that's it. When are you gonna pay that, sir?
I get paid on Monday. I can pay that in full on Monday of next week, as in the 17th.
Okay, I'll note here you'll pay in full by the 17th. You're all set, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Same to you. Joseph Prescott here? No, Joseph Prescott. John Yang present?
Here's that Mr. Yang is hearing from the county jail.
That's Mr. Yang?
To respond.
No, I don't think that's him. That's Hodges. Who's in the Ingham County Jail? What's your name, sir?
Martin Hodges.
Okay, thank you.
My apologies, Your Honor.
No problem. He probably was stretching. Okay, Yang did not appear. It does have a jail tag on it. though. I said, I don't know. Was he in custody?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I know you're in custody. I was wondering if someone else that I'm looking for is in custody. There's a jail tag on here, but I don't see him on the list. I don't know what he's supposed to be. This is Mr. Yang.
No, he's not. He's not in custody.
Okay, City of Lansing versus Ron
Get out the window.
Dries Pierre. Dickey, 24L2889071. Appearance, please.
Catherine Nickel Kleindecker for the city owner.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Dickey.
Let me see what's going on here. Why do I have one more? I don't know what that is. Okay, this was failure to display a valid opt that we reset so that he can bring himself into compliance. Was he able to do that?
Mr. Dickey is still working on that. So I'm not quite complete that process. So we would be requesting a little more time for that purpose.
What steps does it take?
I'm trying to get it.
Trying to take.
Okay, so you're trying to take the driving test or the,
Trying to test to get the license.
okay, okay. And when is your next scheduled test?
I can take it this week. Never have an off day. I'm supposed to be at work right now. At work.
Okay, let me reset it. Give me a couple minutes.
April 8th at 9:30.
April 8th at 9:30. You have any questions today? We'll get you a notice to appear and you'll be all set. Joseph Prescott's on here, correct? Nigel Johnson? Present, okay, 24L289517 and 71, appearance, please.
Catherine Nichols, Director of the City, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Kaplan, P74943, we have the defendant who's standing to my right.
I have an unlimited access speeding and then a failure to display ops, and we reset this to allow him to make his license valid. I'll always receive it.
Your Honor, I've spoken to my client. He's you still need a little, client's confused already. You still wanted another adjournment, correct?
Correct.
For you to continue to get your license reinstated, Your Honor. He informs me that he is paid off three of the citations that he needs to clear up in order to get his license back. Unfortunately, he's got to look for a new job. Hopefully he'll be able to do that soon, so that he can get back on track with getting the licenses. He just needs a little more time.
That's accurate, sir. Yes, ma'am. How much time do you need?
Again, as sir here has said, I'm not sure because again, I'm having to find a new job. So hopefully I can find a new job soon. And then with that being said, then I have to pay my attorney to proceed in this hearing for me to get my license back.
On the licensing issue, your attorney on the licensing issue?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, what I'd say is even if you got a new job next week, it would at least be a couple of weeks for him to start getting a paycheck again, very likely. So
right.
I don't know how much longer you want to set it out.
I don't know what he has to do to get his license. He has to have a hearing.
So I can explain. So what I have to do to get my license back is they want me to get 3 letters of recommendation. I gotta go through substitution.
Okay, got it. Say less. I already know that process. You have to pay, you still paying off fines or you're still doing it?
Clearance fines that I owe.
Okay, so that's all set. You just gotta get a new job and then get your attorney, pay the attorney so that you can get the hearing and proceed with the hearing, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me 60 days. Hopefully should have a new job and a hearing date within 60 days.
Sounds fair to me.
May 13th at 10.
May 13th at 10.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the prosecutor.
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
We'll get you a new notice to appear, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. That was Mr. Johnson. Sherrod Muriel here. That's 24-01908. Appearance, please.
Catherine Nichols, Director for the City.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Kaplan, P74943, on behalf of the defendant who's standing to my right.
This matter, I think, was reset and to allow him, I believe, to complete MRT or anger management, and then there was an offer for a civil infraction.
That is correct, Your Honor. That is how I believe the defense wants to proceed tonight.
He completed the.
He did.
Okay.
My apologies. Yes, he did
Okay,
complete
that's
just
all.
half of it.
Your Honor, I'm standing in for Lauren Sutton today. Lauren
Sutter,
sorry. And she has spoken with you and counseled you about this case?
Yeah.
And she's talked to you about the plea offer in this case, correct?
Yes.
And you'd like to avail yourself of that offer to plead guilty to breach of peace this morning, correct?
no, accept responsibility.
Accept
It's a
responsibility.
civil infraction. Okay, okay, your fine is $50. What can you pay?
Where up here?
At the window. Okay. Reach to the window and you'll be all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Cody Swanjara present.
Your Honor, I have called is her name? I'm sorry.
He's waiting for her, I believe.
Oh, okay, sorry. Your Honor, I have called out in the hallway. I don't know if Cody is male or female, but I called the name a few times, got no response. I don't believe this person is on Zoom.
Our records indicate. Are we ready with Mr. Hodges?
Yeah.
That's your client?
Martin Hodges, yes.
City of Lansing versus Martin Hodges, 25-00441, appearance, please.
Catherine Nichols Linebacker for the city.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Hodges.
Okay, Mr. Hodges is present from Ingham County Jail. This is a furnishing false information charge. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, Mr. Hodges has a pending felony matter, which is from sort of the same encounter with police in this case. I think I'm going to request that this be adjourned until we know more about how that felony is going to be resolved.
There's a felony is connected to this in some regard? Okay.
Yes. Same date, time, and the same, I guess, incident report, Lansing Police.
Okay, when is this next, this week?
I think he does have an exam set this week on the 13th.
Okay, we'll reset after the exam.
My records reflect it's 25-00448. This is felony check.
It's bound over.
Oh,
He waived.
he does have another case in 54B, which I think is set for exam this week. That's on.
The 13th this week. Mhm. This week. April 8th at 10. April 8th at 10. You have any questions for the court, Mr. Hodges?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Hodges.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. City of Lansing versus Asia Bowser, 2-02911. Here, please.
Catherine Nichols Linebacker for the city.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Bowser.
Bowser, didn't we just see you last week on something else?
Yes.
Oh, okay, this is a no ops. Let's see, how are we proceeding on this?
Honor, again, going to be requesting an adjournment on this matter. I think part of the issue is that the city wants to see some progress on Ms. Bowser's fines. So I think she's going to start making things on those, and hopefully we can work something out going forward.
So her license is inactive or she's not eligible due to some fines, is that what's going on? You think that she would benefit going to the license restoration today?
I think perhaps you would.
You could potentially get assistance paying fines and costs if you were to attend. It's happening right around the corner almost, okay? We'll get you the information. We'll reset this. April 8th at 10. April 8th at 10. Our records indicate you're currently without housing, is that correct? Okay, that's information that you would provide when you get there, if you go over there today, okay? Any additional matters for the record?
I know you.
You're all set, man. We'll get you your notice. What fourth one?
She's got 4. It's not in warrant status.
Well, what's the status of it?
Hold up.
6-1, is that this one?
Yes.
She gonna pay it today? I don't have an ROA though.
It's in the back.
No, the written for me to write,
Oh, okay.
because I waive the same fines
Okay, I'll go back
if
and
she can
grab it.
pay it today. No, I have the printed one, I just don't have the file.
I'll go grab it.
Yeah.
Did you guys want Pete next or Dennis?
Excuse me?
Want Pete or Dennis? Because they're both, it looks like they're both scheduled at the same time.
Whichever is fine, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's first, whichever is more convenient.
Okay, I will be right back. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan, Rabicki, present?
I don't believe he's present.
No contact?
No contact.
Lots and improper pleading with the first sentence.
Let's see, there was a young lady that was on my Zoom, but I don't see her anymore. She's been here for some time. Was it Williams? Lejeune Williams, who represents her? She's been here for some time.
I did, Jeff.
Okay, you ready on her?
We are ready, yes.
Okay, that's 25-00176, appearance, please.
Catherine Nichols, Linebacker for the city.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Ms. Williams.
Okay, Ms. Williams has failure to stop after property damage accident. How are we proceeding on this?
Ms. Williams also had a licensing issue. She's working on that. Request would be that we set another date in at least a couple of weeks so that she can make some progress for the license.
She has a licensing issue where? Not before the court. Oh, yeah, I see it. Drove unlicensed.
Yes.
Okay. Is there 2 files here?
I do have it as 2 separate files.
Oh, they didn't write it on here. They just put. Only one. How much time does she need?
Request a month if possible. She has never had a license, so she's working on getting the first license.
Yeah, my appointment is tomorrow.
Okay, that's good.
April 15th at 9:30.
April 15th at 9:30.
April
Do you have
15th.
any questions? Yep, April 15th, tax day.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Brandon Jawan Williams. 22-03166 and 23L2780221-223-241. Council appearances, please.
Catherine Nichols, Linebacker for defendant. I'm sorry, for the city. My apologies.
Honor Jeffrey Kaplan, P 74943, on behalf of the defendant who's standing to my right. So the court's aware, I always give out my P number because there's a couple of Jeffrey Kaplans in the
No
bar.
problem. I get it. Let's see, Mr. Williams has a failure to display license, no ops, improper, and driving unregistered. How are we proceeding on these?
Your Honor, I was just speaking to Miss Nichols Weindecker about that. Is that acceptable to you?
Your Honor, we had offered with the removal of 2 active sanctions, then to reduce to, I believe, a no ops and fail to display to an impeding and admit responsibility for one of the CIs up front. That is the offer set forth today.
We did make a counter offer, Your Honor. Obviously, the prosecutor is not willing to accept that offer. I believe my client then would like to accept that original offer. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Your Honor, I am again standing in for Lauren Sutter. Mr. Williams, you've had an opportunity to consult with Ms. Sutter about this case, about all the cases, correct? Okay. Are you satisfied with her advice?
I just want to get it over with, so yeah.
You're gonna have to admit to the judge what you did. So-
Well, with the plea offer, can you put it on a plea sheet, because there's 4 files.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here, they could, she can pay 150 today, I'll waive the balance. Okay.
Comfortable going forward today?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't think you didn't want the deferral, correct? Meaning you would take the original offer without the deferral, so that would be pleading guilty to no ops. Failure to display in 1 count of the improper plate, either improper plates or driving an unregistered vehicle.
And what was the other option?
I'm sorry, that is the deferral. That was the deferral option. If you don't want the deferral, then there's no adjournment. The offer is complete to the no ops, the failure to display and improper plates. And 1 unregistered vehicle dismissed. The first one.
Mr. McDermott is here, which one? Okay. Abbas Marcana?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the shorthand. Doesn't matter what we dismiss. There's a choice between the no option or to display.
Sorry. Yeah, up here is then one of the improper plates are driven registered. Or the driven registered or improper.
No.
Will you tell me which one to write down, sir?
Oh, improper plates.
I'm gonna read it back to you if I may.
Sure.
So we got for the deferral options, plea guilty to the no ops, fail to display improper plates with 2 active sanctions removed at deferral end, then the no ops and the fail to display will reduce to a pound. Okay.
Coach, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you. So. Okay, so you're seeking a deferred sentencing?
Right. It's my understanding that Mr. Williams' license is impacted as well by a child support case. So that is one of the reasons why the successful end is the removal of 2 active sanctions.
Okay, so a deferred sentence, the expectations for him to plead guilty today to no ops and to failure to display and to the improper plate. And then with 2 active sanctions removed at the time of sentencing, no ops and fail reduced to an allowing, to 1 allowing.
I believe it was 2 allowance.
Let's say this is reduced to allowance.
My apologies. Your Honor.
Okay, so is a mess. How long are you requesting for a deferred sentence?
How long will it take for you to, sorry, Your Honor, I should have asked this.
The lawyer, Miss Sutter, she said, she was gonna ask for maybe a year.
Sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what the standard is.
Well, it's not standard for me to be doing deferred sentences on licensing issue. This is a new thing that the city's doing. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I don't want to be holding over a bunch of sentencings for license issues. His issue sounds like his license is tied up to something completely outside of, it's not to another matter. And I don't know where that matter is. I don't know. His regular attorney's not here who would have probably more information.
Your Honor, if you wanted to adjourn this for 3 months, that would at least be.
I'm sorry, the city would have no objection to an adjournment either, Your Honor.
Because what's going to happen in 3 months?
Well, it will give him a chance to move through the process, and it will give Ms. Sutter an opportunity to get updated on what's happening with the child support.
With the child
case.
support issue, got it. Does he have a court date pending for the child support case?
I don't have that information because it would be a civil matter. Do you have a date for the child support?
I don't think I have a date.
Okay, you don't have a criminal matter pending for child support at this time? It's just a civil matter pending? Sir?
I had to pay to get out.
Yeah, the bond out. So that means you have a criminal matter pending then. When's your next court date?
I'm trying to take a look at that, Your Honor. System.
You paid the full amount as a bond?
No.
You would have had to have paid 25%. I don't see him in our system for a felony matter. So maybe it could be a contempt matter.
I
in front of
don't
court.
see either. It's in Ingham County.
Trying to take a quick look at my court.
That was my stumbling block as well, which is why I
We
went
don't
to
see
the
it in
2
our
active
system either.
sanction.
Give me a date, 90 days out. 90. June 17th at 8:30. June 17th at 8:30. I'll hold the plea sheet here. Let me right here. In case you need to rely on that at that time. Hopefully by then we can maybe resolve this in a less convoluted way.
Thank you, Your Honor.
this other matter is resolved. If we can't, it is what it is. I will get you a court date, okay, sir?
All right, so you think that over here from the court date? Of course, I'll update this, so.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's see.
Your Honor, I will have to talk to Mr. Dennis, who's gonna be appearing from the courthouse,
From the jail.
or from the jail, yeah. We're-
Who's in the jail? Mr. Dennis. Can you hear me in the jail? Hello, sir? Can you hear me? In the red jumpsuit. Stand up, please. What's your name?
Johnny B.
Thank you. That's Johnny Pete. That's your client.
Yes, ma'am.
City of Lansing versus Johnny Pete, 24-03609, 03616, 03766, 03805, and 806. Council appearance.
Catherine Nickel Handicap for the city, Your Honor.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Pete.
Mr. Pete. I have a few files here. I got a trespassing, knife over 3 inches, another trespassing, another trespassing, and another trespassing. How we proceed?
Your Honor, recently Mr. Pete has been referred for evaluation for competency on circuit court matter. Some movement on that from the Center for Forensic Psychology. So this time I request on these matters to adjourn.
No objection from the city.
Let's see. Competency on subjects. Search for file.
April 22nd at 9:30.
April 22nd at 9:30. You have any questions for the court, Mr. Pete?
No.
You're all set. You can let them know you're done.
I said he's in the courthouse.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm in the courthouse. Sometimes
Yeah.
For the very first case. Wait.
The name.
It's been officer here. I'm trespassing since April. Stop coming to court too. You do like that.
You know, do you know when that next
Excuse
court
me?
date is again?
April 22nd. City of Lansing versus Abbas Murtada, 24L2914501. Appearance, please.
Catherine Nickel Handicap for the city.
Sean McDermott, P 46101, on behalf of Mr. Mortada. Mr. Mortada, please activate your video, unmute, and state your name for the record.
It's Abbas Mutada.
Okay, today was the date set for
Abbas
a
Mutada.
explanation. Thank you. This is an explanation hearing for Careless accident. How are we proceeding on this?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Mortada proceeded on this case without an attorney, not realizing he had paid for an attorney through a legal service. And once he realized that, he retained me, and I entered an appearance to attempt to talk to the prosecutor about this very serious charge that is affecting his ability to find employment. So I'm hoping there's a possibility of having that conversation. And
Okay, I'll reset this so that you can contact the city attorneys and have a conversation.
thank you, Judge.
April 8th at 10 work for you?
On Zoom again, Judge?
That's correct.
Yes, thank you. Would I speak with Miss Nichols or just contact the office?
I'm sorry?
Would I speak with you, Miss Nichols, or just contact your office?
Either one will be sufficient. My email should be on the bar website.
Yeah, I have it.
I can
Yeah,
check that.
I have it.
Yep, you can reach out to her directly if that's your question, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
it
you.
was, Judge. Thank you. Have a good day off. Yep,
All
you
right,
can
thank
log
you.
off, Mr. Mortada.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know, we have somebody from code, we have a code compliance matter? Okay. At what time? Oh, okay. I had not yet gotten there. Okay, have we seen Ryan Wheel?
Your Honor, I believe he is out of custody. I tried calling for him in the hallway. I've not gotten a response. There's another one of Ms. Sutter's cases. She reached out to him as well. And we don't have the contact information. She didn't reach out to him. We don't have.
Yeah, it says in our file, he didn't remember at the time of arraignment. Okay, we will issue a bench warrant on that one. And let's see. I see Michonne Daffin is here. Please represent Mr. Daffin.
I am,
Do you to speak to him or are you ready to go?
would like to speak to him briefly.
Michonne Daffin, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your attorney's logging in to speak with you.
Okay.
Okay, and then can we tell the jail to put the other?
I did. I just called.
Oh, okay. And then that one's done. B Dossie from Code Compliance.
I'm here.
The city's requesting an adjournment, so it's gonna be set for April 8th at 10.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No problem. Okay. City of Lansing versus Michon Daffin, 24L2822551, and then I have 21-03290. Appearance, please.
I have the Nichols line for the city, Your Honor.
Jacob Worley on behalf of Mr. Daffin.
Okay, one of these files is a pre-trial method failure to display an ops. How are we proceeding?
We'll be requesting it another adjournment or another pretrial date, but Mr. Daffin tells me he has one more appointment to get his license completed as I said for the 14th later this week. So hopefully by our next court date, we'll be all set.
He has an appointment for what?
Mr. Daffin?
The driver's license. I was supposed to have one the 12th, but then I ended up going to the hospital for hematemesis, is me vomiting blood continuously.
April 8th. April 8th at 10:30. I gotta address this. I'm sorry that you're having some health issues, but I've reset this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now 7 times because you had a Secretary of State appointment. I'm not resetting this anymore. he doesn't have it figured out, you all work something else out or we'll go to trial. And then as it relates to your other matter, are you employed?
Not at the moment. I do have an interview for Taco Bell in a couple days, and I'm sure that I will be getting that job. But as far as that, I can donate to try to pay a little bit of the money until I get the job.
I'm gonna reset this till April 8th. By then, you should hopefully be at Taco Bell, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, sure, okay. Oh, they just spoke with him. There, okay, we go ahead and have a seat if you like. Sit with the arms, there's no chairs. Or, try to stand. Okay, okay. It's on Cole Smith. All right, they'll be right with you shortly.
What's your name, sir?
Brad Dennis.
Okay, let me put you in the meeting room with your attorney. Okay, let's see. And we've not seen Rodney Terry. Or have we heard from Rodney Terry?
He was in custody, but he's no longer in custody.
Well, it's a trespass, so. He wasn't in custody on this one. But City of Lansing versus Britt Dennis, 25-000350M. Appearance, please.
Catherine Nichols Landecker for the city owner.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Kaplan, P 74943, on behalf of the defendant, who is appearing by Zoom.
The defendant is president of from the Polycom from the Ingham County Jail. As this was reset for pre-trial for furnishing false information. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, I've spoken to my client. The prosecutor's offered to let him plead guilty to breach of the peace. My client would like to accept that offer.
Breach of the peace civil infraction?
Correct.
And he has the ability to pay?
Your Honor, that's some question. My understanding, he's applying for Social Security. He does have 2 felony cases pending. So,
I don't know why you all think I'm about to chase him down for the next year over breach of the peace civil infraction when he's been in custody and could have done something, got time served. I'm not gonna chase him down. And calling him back and on a warrant.
I asked him, I left that to him. Mr. Dennis, if you want to plead guilty to the original charge of providing false information, the judge has indicated, obviously, that you've already been in and she would consider sentencing you to time served.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I already got fines out there that I can't pay. Why give me more fines that I can't pay? I'm batshit crazy. I'm on suicide watch. I'm going to prison probably for the rest of my life. And no sense behind the court system for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You want to plead guilty to the original charge, sir?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I recognize you can't raise your right hand.
It's raised in.
Okay, thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? I didn't hear you.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to jury trial, and you have the right to require the city prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge of furnishing false information beyond a reasonable doubt. You can remain silent and not do anything at your trial and not have that silence be used against you. You have the right to cross-examine or question any of the witnesses the city calls to testify against you, and you have the right to subpoena witnesses that will testify against you at your trial. You understand each of those rights?
I do.
And you want to give those up to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone threatening you to do that?
Oh, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you if you plead guilty?
Your Honor.
On or about July, I'm sorry, nope, this is January. On or about January 6, 2025 at approximately 3:47 p.m. were you at the area upon Cesar Chavez at or near New York in the city of Lansing, Ingham County?
Was, Your Honor.
And did you have an interaction with law enforcement?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, did they ask you your name or for some information?
They did, Your Honor.
And did you give them false information?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Any additional factual basis?
The court established that it was in the city of Lansing, so nothing further. Thank you.
Nothing further from the defense.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I accept your plea of finding your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. And he actually approved timeless because he did have a 510% bond. I credit him time served. You're all set.
Sir, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. And that's all I have for the morning.
I apologize.